Brave heroes, I am privy to exclusive arcane and nefarious knowledge that explains the current fate and the future state of our beloved HeroQuest, and I want to share it with you right now. I have in my possession 3 exclusive, secret, never to be found by another mortal quotes. These are from Michael at Avalon Hill, and if you're already of an inquiring mind, if you're already a bit explorative, you'll know these quotes, and you won't be any of the teeming masses who, after every single HeroQuest release, parrot the same thing.
What's gonna be the future of this game? I can't see them going on much longer. Do you think this is the last release? I personally think this is the last release, because look at the sales, and look at the sales. And look at all this data that I don't actually have access to or have any sort of knowledge of.
It's the same thing after every single release. And we will continue to hear it, sadly. But I'm not worried. I believe in the future of the game system, and it's practical and realistic to do so, and I'll tell you why, based on these 3 quotes from Michael at Avalon Hill, which are public-facing in the official Avalon Hill Discord and should be taken as the canon and the most authoritative take that can be publicly shared from the most official source on the brand. And they are, and I begin with the first quote. While I cannot speak to the details, Avalon Hill is not currently being supported by the D2C, direct-to-consumer, Hasbro Pulse team. However, much effort has been undertaken to make HeroQuest readily available from your local game store, wherever Magic and D&D product can be found. We highly encourage everyone to shop at your LGS for HeroQuest. If they don't have it, ask for it. And that's end quote. That's very, very important. All of these words here, you need to take them quite literally. You're not going to see HeroQuest on Hasbro Pulse anymore because it's currently not being supported by that team. And it makes sense. If you go to Hasbro Pulse, what's their main product? It's going to be Transformers. It's going to be G.I. Joe. It's going to be limited edition hands, statues holding lightsabers. These are the things that Hasbro Pulse sells. The direct-to-consumer platform was never really the right place for HeroQuest, in my opinion. I want to go ahead and follow up with this second quote. Begin quote, while Hasbro Pulse is certainly evolving, myself and the Avalon Hill team remain dedicated to making HeroQuest available to everyone, everywhere. If anything, we're expanding our distribution. One of the benefits of being tied so closely to Hasbro is that we are in a position to distribute our products globally, so long as we have enough demand. End quote. Oh, that no, actually, but not end quote just yet. There's a footnote. Disclaimer, things always change. I'm not making any promises, just wanting folks to be aware that we're improving our distribution through FLGS's, friendly local game stores, and understand the frustration with Pulse not being as consistent with Avalon Hill. End quote. Again, take every single word of this into consideration. You're not going to see this stuff on Hasbro Pulse, but it's not an indicator that this is the end of HeroQuest or a winding down or a sunset even. The team is still focused on creating HeroQuest content, and they've never had to rely on the existing HeroQuest content to create more. That's not been a thing. It's just something that the fans want. It's the stuff that has demonstrable demand, because they can create things based on old things by pointing at other old things that have already sold, like the game system and Keller's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord, and show that to Hasbro. They can continue making stuff as long as there's demand. If there's not enough demand, that thing's not going to come out. And I don't know what planet you might be from if you didn't realize that before, but that's the case with everything ever. There's no such thing as just a consistent creation cycle for a product that doesn't have demand, unless it's digital, in which case it might not be supported by the creator or original publisher. It might be picked up by other creators, or it might be distributed in a matey kind of way across the internet. This being a physical product that requires manufacturing to happen, it needs a sufficient amount of demand for it to be released in places. Now, I'm not an authority. I'm just reading stuff, and I'm giving you my interpretation of that stuff. I know very well that there are still territories that don't have certain expansions, and that sucks. I do think that they are trying to work on that based on these quotes. I don't think that this is an open forum opportunity, flood the Discord and start asking the same questions over and over again. I think this is the information you get in response to the questions that have been asked. But the third quote that I want to share might be the most important. This is in the news and announcements sections under general chat. And this, again, is from the Avalon Hill Discord, not the old one that no longer has its management because its management was let go during the layoffs, but the new Avalon Hill Discord. Happy New Year. We hope everyone here had an incredible holiday season filled with lots of gaming. This was posted on January 5th, by the way. As we look ahead to 2026 and the incredible new games and announcements we have planned, we wanted to take a moment to thank you. We get to do what we do because of you. Day after day, we are encouraged and energized by your support and love for the brands that we work on. As we venture into 2026, we will continue to craft immersive, strategic tabletop experiences rooted in storytelling, depth, and replayability by partnering with world-class designers, internally and externally, to create games that are modern, engaging, and endlessly rewarding without the barriers that slow players down. Now, I'm going to break away from the quote here for a second. Of course, that means their signature series is going to progress. At least that's how I'm taking it. They have a lot of really talented designers that work on these signature series games like Sanibel, Market Fresh, and so on. But let's continue reading this quote. So back into it. Our promise is simple. Quality tabletop adventures without complication. Whether that's an epic dungeon battle against the forces of dread or exploring the competitive yet cozy world of shelling on the beaches of Sanibel, we strive to take you on the journey of a lifetime. Cheers to 2026, and again, thank you, the Avalon Hill team. Now, worst case scenario, you could look at that and say, well, it's just retrospective, talking about the forces of dread. And of course, HeroQuest is still for sale in places on certain platforms. I know very well that Wizards of Morcar is tough to get because of the wave stock and because of the early release that wasn't supposed to happen overseas. Because of that, this was just an unprecedented expansion release, and it's been really, really tough for certain people to get their hands on, both in the US and in other places. There are still friendly local game stores here that have the game, but there are people in different states for whom those game stores are not local, and they can't get their hands on their games from their friendly local game stores because their FLGs have reached out through their distributors, and their distributors just don't have the game. So it is something that if you can't find it on Amazon, and you can't find it on Big Bad Toy Store, don't go looking on Hasbro Pulse. It's not going to be there. But definitely go to your local game store and ask them to order it. If they can't, go to your next local game store, ask them to order it, and just continue looking out for it. If you're one of the people who is just refusing to order from one of the larger stores, it kind of is what it is. If you can't find it at your friendly local game store, make every effort to support them. But if your priorities are to not support the large chain store for whatever reason, that's personal to you, then that's totally valid. It just means that that's got to outweigh some of the things that you want to get. And that's kind of going to be a trade-off. But that's just my own take, and it's neither here nor there. Anyway, I constantly see comments on this channel about the state of HeroQuest being almost at an end, or is it over, or it's not on Hasbro Pulse, what's happening? And I just wanted to address all of those all at once, and I figured I could commit the cardinal sin of creating a clickbait thumbnail and title just this once here on the channel to get you guys' attention. But I hope you'll forgive me because the news is actually good. This channel doesn't thrive on bad news or drama. If anything, I really try to squelch. I try to squelch that down. We try to waffle stomp all that into the shower drain. That's worse. Let's not do that. So I'm just gonna cheers you and send you on your merry way. Feel free to grab a coffee. They're free today at the vending machine. Code 34, and don't use the K-Pod thing just outside the office. It's been broke down for the last week. We're working on just replacing it. It's filthy. The water here is hard. It's hard water. So it's a bit. Don't look too much into it. I'm ending the video with this. So cheers. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye for now. And have hope from this point forward. Don't be so dang negative. Don't be so dang pessimistic, and don't try to pass it off as realism. Yes, there are a lot of games that are going away because of crazy global challenges. Avalon Hill has been doing this for longer than some of us have been alive. So I think they know what they're doing here, and they're definitely indicating to us that they're not rolling over. And I know that we're going to see more HeroQuest content this year. I would really hope. I really, really hope. I'm very optimistic that we will. So it's the classic Missouri goodbye. You're already on your way out the door. So, yep, time to slap the knee. About that time. See ya.